The road from book idea to finished project is one that we don't really cover here at Daddy Mojo, but let's look briefly at this, shall we? Tokyo Rose, 0 Hour. It's a graphic novel of intrigue and treason. It was originally put up in 2020, December 30th, 2020, by Andre Fratino, and then lo and behold, this is out in the very near future. Tokyo Rose, 0 Hour. It's a Japanese-American woman's persecution and ultimate redemption after World War II. It is from Andre Fratino with illustrations by Kate Casanow. And the story behind the subject is Eva Toguri. Eva Toguri is this young woman, and essentially she was traveling from the United States of America to Japan, which is where her family is from, but she was a Japanese American, so she was educated in the United States. Traveled back to Japan in the summer of 1941 just to spend some time with some relatives, and World War II happened. The invasion, the bombing of Pearl Harbor, and the subsequent events of World War II. Where the book picks up is it starts immediately kind of in story with her being on trial. And I didn't know this. This is a story that I didn't know. I knew the name Tokyo Rose, but I really didn't know what she did. I knew she had something to do with broadcasting and being either a propagandist for the Japanese or a traitor to the Americans. I wasn't really sure on her story. And the black and whiteness in the art, again, this is from the illustrator's Kate Casanow's website, it drives home the seriousness of the story, all the while being a great graphic novel. And upper elementary school kids who can read this, they're not going to mistake this for some men in tights or some superhero in tights graphic novel. This is a graphic novel that entertains and educates. And it does that very well. Like here, you've got to see the military police who are not quite sure how to deal with Tokyo Rose. And so they treat her like as kind of a monster, because to them, is she a traitor? Are the myths true? Is she some kind of monster? But no, she went on trial, and this is her story. Fascinating true history that will really appeal to those high school kids who are studying World War II, and even those upper middle school kids who are learning about World War II and want to dig into it a little bit, because it's a complex read. Because basically, when she was in Tokyo, she was thought to be a puppet for the Japanese regime. But in actuality, when she was broadcasting to the Allied forces, she was doing it with stories that were laced with sarcasm and a bit of sexuality and things that couldn't possibly be real. And even the upper commanders in the Allied forces and the Pacific forces, they knew something wasn't up when they heard her versus the other broadcasters who did so on 0 Hour. This is a graphic novel that will really entertain you, and it will show you a slice of history that you really didn't know. Comes with a preface that you should read beforehand. Especially it helped me because I knew very little to nothing about Tokyo Rose. So the preface really helped me, but it's going to be appropriate for those upper elementary school kids and up, if they're down with history. There's nothing, while you mentioned the subject of war, and it could be potentially gratuitous and graphic, this is not. It's entertaining and educational, which is a tough line to thread for an educational graphic novel. It is Tokyo Rose, 0 Hour. It's a graphic novel on Tuttle Publishing.